everyone. Thank you for joining. My name is Amy. I'm one of the agency managers here at Nisloff and Fleming. We are going to talk about how to create an agency today in 5 steps. Okay, so we're going to first talk about understanding how to be a resource, what makes you different, initial setup, know what you're getting into, and selling year-round. So one of the first things that you need to prioritize when you're thinking about becoming an agency is being a resource to your agents. You ultimately are the teacher, so you'll be the one educating your agents on the knowledge that you have, how you're getting business out in the market. Sometimes you have to be ready to invest money. Obviously, you're going to be investing some time as well. Investing money, some of the agencies that start out, they might be doing retail opportunities, or they might be investing in leads for their agents, or investing in or co-oping different events if they want to do sales events or educational events. Keep in mind, a lot of the agencies that we work with, they are investing money into their agents up front, and then as they produce more, they give them more money. Give them opportunities. So again, you would want to give them opportunities like sales events or educational events. If you yourself are doing any types of events, you can take those people along with you, these new agents, or register them for an event. And they have to be there for your downline. Whatever questions they may have, you want to be able to answer those questions, whether it be on commissions, or if they have plan questions, or questions on specific FEPs. You want them to be able to call you first and be a resource to them so they know they can come to you with whatever you need. Okay, so some of the ways how you will develop and train your agents. So knowledge-based training, teach them what you know, the ropes of the Medicare world. Obviously, they're going to be they may be new to Medicare, maybe they're newly licensed agents, maybe taking them on sales appointments so they can learn from you and how you work a successful sales appointment might be beneficial. Doing sales trainings is also very good as well. So you can do different sales trainings with them or product trainings. I know oftentimes we at Nisloff and Fleming will try to do product training either on-site for our agents or webinars like these, or do carrier trainings, with the actual carrier for our agents, so our agents are up to speed on what is happening in the market and with these specific carriers. Appointment ride-alongs is very good for agencies to take their new agents along with them. So, for instance, I know some of the carriers, Aetna and United Healthcare, especially in our area, those carriers, those reps will actually take some of our agents along with them. You could reach out to the carrier reps, or if you want to take your agent on some of your appointments with you, maybe the first couple weeks so they can get the hang of it, or take them out when you're looking for various food banks or high-rises, maybe to do events at, that would be good. Also, event training. There's various event trainings that we have resources on, the carriers have resources on. They have to be able to be certified, obviously, for some of the carriers on the website. So, if you need anything, you can always reach out to us as well, and we can get you all prepared for various trainings for your downline. Okay, something else that's very important. What makes you different? So you have to know what's going to set you apart from the other competitors and agencies in your area. You have to have some type of statement I always suggest like a 10 to 15 second commercial. So if you are calling and recruiting agents, new agents, you want to be able to have a couple key points in a very short amount of time that you can tell them what sets you apart from those other competitors. You might not have a lot of time on the phone or in a meeting to sell yourself, so you have to be able to do some research on what other competitors are doing out in the market and just think of some key points where you can stand out from those competitors. All right, so initial setup. It's really important to know from the beginning how you're going to contract. Are you going to contract as an individual or a corp? Keep in mind, if you can be an individual and have downlines. You can also do, if you have an agency, you can also contract your agency and have downlines in your agency. Now, in order to have an agency and for commissions or anything to be able to pay to the agency or to set up as an agency, you do have to obtain a corp license, so keep that in mind as well. Also think about, how do you want commissions to be paid? A lot of agencies will want to just receive an override on the commissions or on what their downline is selling. So if that's the case, you can just set up and you may get a higher level contract and then have your agents at street level, and you would make the override on that. Now, if you're wanting to set up as your agents as solicitors and all the commissions come to the agency and then you pay them, you can also do that. Some of the carriers do require a very high-level contract for you to have true solicitors. So you can always touch base with Jesse or I here at Nice Lawson Fleming, and if you have any interest in that, you can ask us various questions on these contracts. We can walk you through the requirements for that. And why this matters. So you want to know from the beginning it's how you're going to set up. You don't want to be writing business for a month or two and then down the road you're going to want to change to a corp, because then commissions might be getting paid to your corporation and then old commissions to an individual. It is much easier if you are having everything pay up front to one place and you know how you're set up. Plus, you don't want your downline to have to recontract. So if you're an individual initially and then you go to a corp, your downline may have to recontract, and you don't want them to have to go through that. Okay, so know what you're getting into. Are you going to sell if you're the principal of the agency? Are you going to sell or not sell? Even if you are not selling as a principal, you still have to do your certifications. Keep that in mind. We talk to a lot of agencies and a lot of agents every year. Even if the principal is not selling, you have to do your certifications for your downline to be ready to sell. We always recommend, when certifications come out, in June and July, the principal should be doing their certifications as quickly as possible, so then their downline agents can also be ready to sell. Also keep in mind, if you are wanting to expand in other states and you're wanting to recruit agents that will sell in various states like Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Ohio, the principal also has to be licensed in all of those states for the downline to be able to sell. We come across this quite often, that maybe a downline is adding a new state. The principal also has to add those states, and they have to do that first before the downline can sell in those states. We do not want anybody selling products for a state that they are not appointed in, because that can get you terminated from contract possibly. All right, so one of the other things you want to think about is selling all year round. If you're going to be creating an agency, you definitely want to be having a plan, not just during AEP, but you want to be selling all year round. So, as of right now, we have a lot of agents that are doing T65. They might be doing mailers. to be able to get those, or different events, planning like educational events, building relationships with the clients that you currently have, and getting word of mouth referrals. You should be starting to plan in January for lock-in season. I know that, you know, January 1 comes and a lot of agents kind of want to take a break because AEP just finished up, but that is a perfect time. You want to be, if you're doing educational events, you might want to do something maybe March. And if that's the case, you need to start thinking quickly, you know, in January about locations and things like that. So keep in mind, you want to be selling year-round, whether you're an agency or even an individual, so you can take an opportunity and get those clients that are going through an SEP, or even dual opportunities that we see a lot of our agents take part in. All right, so some key takeaways. Starting an agency is more important than just having sub-agents. You have to give them value. A lot of agents and agencies are recruiting now, you know, as they are trying to gear up already for AEP for 2018. You have to create value for your agents so they will stay with your organization. So make sure that you are constantly staying in contact with them, being a resource to them, offering them various things, whether that be leads or whatever your agency is deciding to do. Have a structure that lets you grow. So for instance, if you come across an agent maybe that also has a downline, keep that in mind. You know, you want to be able to bring on individual agents, but also maybe other agencies underneath of you. So try to think of your plan and have a structure set in place on how big you're willing to get in your agency from the beginning. And then every day is an opportunity to sell. So keep that in mind. You know, you might be selling on Saturdays or Sundays, or a lot of agencies will go out after and maybe do events at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock at night to try to get additional appointments. So always think of additional places to sell and help your agents find additional resources as well. Does anybody have any questions for me? You can submit those in the chat if you do. If you do have any questions, my name's Amy. Like I said, I'm one of the agency managers. Jessica Schreiber is the other agency manager here. My email is actually on this slide. You can always email me, or you can email Jessie, or give us a call, and we would be more than happy. If you're interested in setting up an agency, we can walk you through the process. If you are an individual agent, or even if you're currently an agency and you want to grow more, feel free to reach out to us, because we're always happy to help our agents grow their business and their downline as well. Thank you all for attending. Have a very